Welcome to Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast. I am seated next to the one and only vocalist slash guitarist in Ocala that is going to knock your bones off when you start listening. All right?
That's awesome.
Before we dive in, we have some nice folks in the audience. Yes, we do have an audience today. Isn't that something? But I want to say thank you to Keith Caton for allowing us to use his lovely old school studios, he calls it. And this is up in the Nellen. The lovely lady next to me goes by the name Michelle Inghram. And this beautiful instrument right here, guess who plays it? That's right. Michelle plays it. But before we jump in, Michelle, massage therapist.
Oh, I've been that for like a long time too.
So tell us about, is it that the massaging stuff came before music or
no.
after?
Massage came after music. Music has been my entire life. Music has been my family's entire life, I should say. So it was just kind of like brought up in music and art and, you know, and basically in healing in some way or another, but
Right.
yeah, but
So-
music first.
So you come in from a family that plays music.
Absolutely.
So is it dad that played drums or guitar or piano, mom sang, or what kind of instruments did the family play?
Well, my mom, she played organ a little, but you know, she wasn't really an instrumentalist. She was more of a vocalist and songwriter.
Right.
And then, but my whole family on her side of the family were instrumental in inspiring me to play music because they played music back in the 1900s, 1800s, and
Ooh, okay.
you know, so it
okay.
just came like generational
Yes.
through the years.
So you kind of like had no choice. It was in you to
It's
just
in my
follow
blood.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
my
right.
cousins all sing and play, and you know, and my sister's a really great singer. My brother plays in the bluegrass band, or used to play in the bluegrass band anyway. And
Okay.
also a very
okay.
good singer. So it's just, you know, it's all family.
So, guitar. How did guitar? Is it that is the instrument you wanted to play, or you saw someone playing it and you said that is what I want to play as a kid, or what?
Well, it's a kind of a funny story because my brother Brian, he played guitar also when he was in his teen years, and I started out playing a little bit of keyboard, but I noticed that guitar got him a little bit more attention from my mother.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
So
Right.
So my dad actually knew how to play a guitar a little bit enough to teach me my first 3 chords, and then I kind of took off from there. So I put down the keyboard, and then I ended up playing guitar, and I found out that it ended up being a lot more portable than an organ,
Well, yeah.
you know,
Well,
a
you know,
keyboard
the
or whatever.
keyboard, yeah,
So it's a little more portable, but you know, and then I just kind of took off from there, and my brother helped me along. He taught me even more about guitar and stuff like that, and you know, so we played some music when we were younger, as teenagers in the house. So.
Beautiful. So you are getting involved in guitar, and at some point, Michelle is going to land her first gig.
Okay.
And is it that you're going to be playing professionally, meaning collecting some
Money
for it? Is it that you're going to be playing guitar only and singing came later on, or the first gig you did both singing
Both.
and...
I did both singing and playing. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so how did singing, because you started with guitar, your brother helped you out, you said,
Yeah.
and then singing came in immediately, or?
Well, I always loved singing. I always used to sing to records. You know, I had a friend of mine, and I used to sing to his records. He was he was my sister's friend, and he had those cassette tapes. Remember those?
Yes, the TDK, right?
Yeah.
TDK, or Maxwell.
Right. Those cassette tapes. You remember what those were?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I used to listen. His name was Gavin Grace, and I fell in love with his music. And he's actually a friend of mine on Facebook. I'll have to tag him.
Yes.
But I used to, sing to his music, and then my dad used to take me to hear a friend of mine named Diana Starr.
Oh.
And she was a jazz singer, and she played out in the clubs and stuff like that. And I used to go listen to her sing, and she is my ultimate mentor, and she's also a friend of mine on Facebook. And
okay, beautiful.
So so she's been a mentor my entire life. I used to take my guitar over to her, and I would play her songs I had just written and stuff like that, and she would like help me along with it, and she even like helped me record a couple of my first songs on cassette tape. I never actually released them, but it was fun being in the studio when I was a teenager and stuff like that at her house. So she helped me out a lot, and then so yeah, when I started learning how to play guitar, I started singing and playing at the same time. So
that's an incredible story.
Yeah.
So your first performance, do you remember that time when you are now going to step in to play before people and be paid for it?
Well, I think the first gig I never had. The first gig that I had was playing like at an open mic night, because that's where you get started.
Yes.
So just to try to test the waters and test the ground and stuff like that, see what my response was, and I was getting really good response. And then people started handing me a little bit of money at the open mics and stuff, or buying me something to drink or whatever at the open mics. And then I'm like, hey, I'm doing something right.
Right.
So yeah, and then I don't actually remember my very first gig.
Right.
Although I remember playing solo at a festival, a couple festivals, just doing like little 45-minute sets at a festival, and then it was all, that's my first paying gig really, was at like little shorter sets at festivals, not 3-hour gigs and stuff like that.
Yes.
So
you're doing your thing on guitar and you're in Ocala.
Well, I was in St. Louis at that time.
You started off in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you from, actually?
I'm from St. Louis, Illinois.
From St.
Granite
Louis,
City, Illinois, which is a little town right across the river from St. Louis, so it's kind of my stock grounds there.
And how did you end up in Ocala?
Well, it's a rather long story, that was 2 marriages ago.
Right. Okay, beautiful.
But I guess I had come here for a family emergency.
Okay.
And then I ended up staying, so I fell in love with it, and it's that state that I can drive, for 12 months out of the year.
Oh yes. Oh.
I can drive 12 months out of the year and
That's
not have to worry about snow or ice or anything.
That, exactly.
Because I'm freakishly afraid of snow and ice.
So this
is like the perfect state for me.
Beautiful. So you're doing your thing in Ocala,
right.
And so you started to gig around Ocala and because folks, let me tell you, Michelle is as popular as it gets in terms of live music that is happening in Ocala. I mean, if you go to her Facebook page, it's like,
sweet.
I'm
all over the place, yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I had an opportunity to jam with you recently when Olivia did her cult sessions at MCA.
Yeah, right.
And guess what? This lady, she is into rhythms because she does have a djembe.
Yeah, I can play it. That's one of my first instruments also.
So how did that come in? What you bought a djembe? You saw someone playing it?
I did. I saw somebody playing a djembe and I fell in love with it. Okay. I forgot her name, but she was the lead singer of a little duo called Martha's Trouble.
Right.
And I fell in love with them. They live in Alabama, and I fell in love with the way she played, and I just kind of like fell into that, naturally. My whole family is really rhythmic as well, So we're real good dancers and all that stuff. So we can keep a beat, and So I don't know. I just fell in love with the rhythm, and it just came natural to me. When I first started playing the rhythm, I played bongos at first.
Okay.
And then I found out that I was pregnant at 9 months. 9 months pregnant, and I had a really big belly.
Oh.
Pregnant with my 22-year-old daughter now, which
right.
Her name is Aubrey. But it's like my belly would touch the drum.
Oh, so
when I was playing.
Okay.
So she's very rhythmic now too, because it's just naturally just. But anyway, so I found out it's not so comfortable to lean against a djembe, a bongo, because it's a little longer and harder.
Oh,
so with a djembe, it kind of leans forward and it doesn't touch me so much when I was pregnant.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that was another reason why I switched to djembe. Isn't that a weird story?
It's an interesting one. It's stories can be interesting. Let's put it down as being interesting. And what is more interesting is the fact that you are getting ready to hit the stage with an artist that I understand you had this artist down as one of your bucket lists.
Oh yeah,
your bucket list to
Keith's
play
been
with.
around forever. He's a blues guy. I think nationally known, You know, everybody knows him, and you know, he's you know, you think I'm popular. He's more popular than I am.
Right.
But you know, he's been around for a long time, and I just love his music. I've always loved the blues. My mother loved the blues. I was raised on it. And, you know, being from St. Louis, that's why they called the hockey team, I think, the St. Louis Blues hockey team, because there's a lot of blues in St. Louis, so it was around everywhere when I was a kid. And then, so I was just kind of raised with it, and then, you know, getting to play with, like, to me, a local legend is pretty amazing in itself, so.
So I'm sure you guys would like to know what happened. How did Michelle react to Keith calling you to say, hey, would you like to be a part of this performance?
Yeah.
So
of course
tell
I
us
said,
about it. Of
course I said yes. Absolutely I will. I'll cancel whatever date I need to do. No, this is such an amazing opportunity. Just to play for a jazz and blues festival in of itself is a pretty amazing thing. And I've always wanted to play in a band. I've always wanted to, especially sing blues in front of band a little bit, you know. But now it's just like I get the best of both worlds. I get Keith Caton.
Yeah, that is amazing.
And a jazz and blues festival.
Yeah.
And I get to sing in front of it all. So.
Yeah, because you perform with your guitar and you have your backing tracks and stuff and you're singing.
No, I don't use backing tracks at all.
Oh, so it's just you on the guitar?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, so that's a more personal.
It's just very intimate. It's a very intimate and raw. And for me, I'm not bound by tracks. I'm not bound by rhythm or anything like that, even though I'm very rhythmic myself.
Yes.
I'm not bound by any of that. I can just let loose and do whatever I want and not be bound by a track, not be bound by a rhythm track. You know, or a harmony track or any of that kind of stuff. I can just let the song be as long or short as I want it to be. I can add an extra verse if I want to, or I can just
that's right,
whatever.
because relying on the track means you have to start it over.
It's just kind of like it just kind of puts you in a box, and you know, I'm just not a boxed up person. I just can't be that.
Of course. So
I'm way too free spirited to be a boxed up person.
Of course. So Keith Caton Blues Band, you are performing with for the International Jazz Art and Blues Festival.
Yes.
So are you going to give us a little sneak peek of a song or two you might be thinking of singing?
Oh, I don't know. Like right now.
Well, not to sing it, but what names and...
I think maybe a little bit of Stormy Monday might be wrong there.
Or Stormy Monday.
I just learned one too, and this was what was the name of it? It's from Hurricane Ruth.
Okay.
She's a blues girl, and why worry about what you never had? It's I listen to the lyrics over and over, and I'm like, you know, this kind of hits home.
Why worry about what you never had?
Yeah.
So that's a possible. Those are some possible songs.
A little bit of Muddy Waters, maybe a little bit of Rolling and Tumbling, and you know. So yeah.
Well, folks, Michelle is getting ready to hit the stage, and she's going to check one of those boxes on her bucket list.
That's right.
And Keith Caton Blues Band, she's going to be singing with on the 30th of April for the International Jazz Art and Blues Festival. Now, she's here to rehearse with the Keith Caton Blues Band. No, you can't hear that.
Yeah, you can. We'll try.
Yeah.
We'll get a recording of it.
We might give you a taste another time. Michelle, I want to thank you for taking the time to come and chat with us and tell us about your family background in music. It's, you know, what is beautiful when you hear people's story, folks are in the arts and music and what have you. What is beautiful is when you hear the story about their families, the family tree is responsible for a lot of what's happening.
Absolutely, it is. I mean, it's not just, you know, the recent family tree. It's like generational, like 6 and 7 generations past.
Yes.
You know, but I have like an old accordion that my Aunt Dot used to play, and she's my great aunt.
Wow, you see what I mean? You see?
And so so I have an old accordion that she used to play, and she was amazing at it. And so it just goes generationally. It may be a different style of music, but music is still there.
Music is music.
Yeah.
Yes, and good music will always be alive and well.
Yeah.
And Michelle is from the good music school. When you come to Ocala, you will not have a choice but to stumble up and check out this beautiful lady playing guitar because she's all over the place. All right, Michelle, thank you very much for.
Thank you, Sean, for having me. It's
the
awesome.
pleasure is all mine.
Absolutely.
Ring. You've been checking out the Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast. I'm here with the lovely Michelle Inghram, and of course, International Jazz Day on 30th of April is where she'll be starring. Stay tuned. Bye for now.